that with the election, which you did really well, by the way. So great job. It's very understated because of how statistics are being spread in the media and in the news. But for the first election, you guys did incredibly well. So congratulations on that. Now we didn't get any seats,
No.
but like other starting up parties, that all takes time. Did you guys find that a lot of your voting base came from new voters or first time voters?
It was a real mishmash. So it was, and keep in mind, this is like people that I've met when I was working as an MPP and then just like party stuff. So
Yeah,
like our base was um, disenchanted PC voters who saw the truth, which is that the PC party is actually just another wing of the Liberal Party.
yeah,
There were some liberals. I had a lot of people who were former liberals helping out. Some NDPers, the ones who felt like, the NDP claimed to be the party for the workers.
yeah.
And when workers were getting let go, they were like, well, where were you guys? So, and we were there. So we had a lot of NDP, a couple of Greens, and then a lot of people who were just apathetic, like that didn't vote ever.
They
Um,
just wanted, they just knew that it was time to kind of step up and
that it was time because change happens slowly. And this was great. Like, I mean, yes, like you said, we didn't get any seats. However, we'd only been around for a year and a half. I'm a one-term MPP. Like we did, it was a fairly large splash, considering the tight time constraints we had. And Jim was sick and dealing with cancer and
yeah,
chemotherapy during a large chunk of that development time of the party as well. So the fact that we ran a full slate of candidates, 124, um, even the Liberals didn't run a full slate, right?
no,
Like that in itself is huge, and people don't, if you're not in the nitty gritty, which I totally get that most people aren't,
yeah,
it's a lot of work. And I remember speaking to Mike Schreiner, the leader of the Green Party, because we sat on the same side of the house,
yeah.
and he had even said he was like that's a lot of work, Belinda. Like I don't know how you guys did it, and when you're in it, you don't really think about the work, and then when you look back, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, you
that
did.
was
You
just
guys did a lot, and I think it's also the other part that people need to consider is that it was the lowest voter turnout, and you guys still did that well.
yeah.
So that should show that there is a future for you guys, and that people should start paying attention to the message that you're showing. Because when you have the lowest voter turnout in Ontario history, I believe that that's the case, and you still pull in 2% plus of the vote,
Mm.
which would have been bigger if it wasn't for some of the other people that's was around, which we can get into later. But it's still a big deal. So I think that that's very understated, and I think that it's going to bring some sort of fear into the other establishment parties. Like the PPC, like some of the other uh, parties that have started up, and it means that you have to pay attention to you guys now. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I think you're bang on there. I really do. And like that the lowest voter turnout in Ontario history.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
and it speaks volumes.